say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
My turn. One. Forward. One. Good evening, everyone. I'm Glenn Kreutz, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences. I'd like to welcome you all, our guests, to a special night all about honoring incredible alumni who have done amazing things since they joined the Cass Cowboys family. It's great to be with you. First of all, how about that dinner? And I'd like to thank Philip Erdos for sponsoring the open bar. If you enjoyed a drink tonight, please join me in showing your appreciation for that gesture. If I could just get one of those white hats, that would be fun. Okay. Now I'd bet a lot of you haven't seen the McKnight Center before tonight. How incredible is this place, huh? Beautiful, beautiful place. And next door is the beautiful new building for the Michael and Ann Greenwood School of Music, which celebrated its grand opening earlier this month. Dr. Jeffrey Leffert, head of the Greenwood School of Music, will tell you that we now have one of the finest performing arts complexes in the nation. Think of what that does for our ability to help students develop into captivating entertainers. Speaking of which, we showed off a little bit earlier tonight by having the students in the jazz ensemble play, and then Professor April Gulliver Muhandin just sang an incredible rendition of the national anthem. Of course, her singing complemented the presentation of colors by the Army and Air Force ROTCs. People forget sometimes that the ROTCs are in our college, the College of Arts and Sciences, or CAS as we call it. We'd like to remind them because we couldn't be prouder of these outstanding men and women. But you know, our college is blessed to have many incredible people in all our 24 departments, and not only among our students, but also our faculty and our staff. That is why we have an almost endless list of successes that we could report to you tonight. I would love to tell you about each and every one of them, but I promise I won't take up that much of your time. Instead, let me just go through a few of them to give you an idea of all the ways we connect, achieve, and succeed. See what I did there? CAS, CAS, connect, achieve, succeed. Okay. First, with 6,000 students majoring in the College of Arts and Sciences at Oklahoma State University, we continue to be OSU's largest college by far. And because we house the core subjects of intellectual inquiry, our faculty and staff truly serve the entire university. For example, this last year, we had 29,000 general education enrollments in our college from 13,500 unique students. That represents 2/3 of the OSU student body. CAS Gen Ed enrollments, general education enrollments, included 4,096 new freshmen who took our classes in CAS, which is 99% of the OSU freshman class. And so CAS literally is the home of the freshman experience. We're very, very proud of that. When OSU recognizes its best students each year, we typically lead the way in the College of Arts and Sciences. That is why 11 of the 52 seniors of significance and 6 of the 22 outstanding seniors came from CAS this last year. We also attract a lot of attention when it comes to national awards. For example, OSU led the state with 3 Goldwater Scholars this last year. These scholarships are valued up to $7,500 per year. One winner is Colin Thornton, who is double majoring in computer engineering and electrical engineering. He has been engaged in extensive research projects on OSU's autonomous golf cart and unmanned aerial systems. Also, biology majors Kate Kuplin and Kaylee Nail received honorable mention in the 2021 Udall Scholarship National Competition, which recognizes college students who demonstrate outstanding leadership, public service, and commitment to issues related to Native American nations or the environment. You can also see our student success in the Ethics Bowl team, which reached the quarterfinals of the Intercollegiate Ethics Bowl this last year. Okay? It was the team's best finish and second appearance at nationals after the Department of Philosophy established it only 5 years ago. Along with having great students today, we are also attracting tomorrow's great students. That's why we have 146 majors and major options in the College of Arts and Sciences, including 5 degrees that are available completely online. We recently added the online history and sociology programs to the previously established options of psychology, computer science, and multidisciplinary studies, all programs that are growing like gangbusters. For traditional degrees, we also added a BFA, or Bachelor of Fine Arts, a BFA in acting, a BFA in musical theater, which we're very excited about, a BA in American Sign Language, and a BS in geophysics. But the brightest students would have limited opportunities without effective teachers and researchers to work with. Fortunately, we have that too. That's why our faculty are able to secure about 220 grants per year, totaling $13 million for research, outreach, and teaching. For example, Doctors Alan Ablett and Nicholas Maderer from our Department of Chemistry are part of a group of scientists who were awarded nearly $6.5 million by the Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, to address the environmental challenges posed by harmful algal blooms. Dr. Matthew Cabine of our Department of Microbiology and Molecular Genetics was awarded $1.7 million from the National Institutes of Health, the NIH, to study how bacteria sense and respond to stress. The Department of History and the Edmund Lowe Library, near and dear to all of our hearts in the center of campus there, hosted a monthly live book talk series titled Why It Matters, Talks on the American Past. Each of the 5 featured books for that series were published in 2020 by our OSU history faculty. Very productive department. Integrative biology professor Dr. Elizabeth McCullough helped relaunch the GAGE database that she co-created in 2018, which addresses a lack of diversity on scientific panels. We're also bringing in 6 new professors, very excited about this one. We're bringing in 6 new professors this year, specifically to collaborate in various ways on pandemic research. They are joining the departments of geography, history, integrated biology, mathematics, media, and strategic communications. So we have a smattering of different fields within which these new pandemic scholars will be based. Working with current faculty on pandemic research, they will be doing great work. And we already actually this week had one of those new faculty secure a research grant related to the pandemic. So we're super excited about that research cluster. And speaking of the pandemic, one thing that's become abundantly clear during the past year and a half is how important both the arts and the sciences are in processing the pandemic, if you will. You could say that the arts are helping us get through the pandemic and the sciences are helping us get out of it. We have a new marketing video that underscores that idea, which I'd like to show you now.
The arts and sciences have always been an important part of our world, and now it is even more evident. The events of 2020 impacted every aspect of our lives. The pandemic highlighted the critical role of arts and sciences in our collective well-being. From scientists working to stop the spread of COVID-19 and improving healthcare systems, to arts and culture strengthening the fabric of society, the value of an arts and sciences degree became clearer than ever. Historians showcased how contagion and pandemics have changed humanity over time. Fair and accurate reporting became vital as the malignant effects of misinformation spread. We discovered the power of art, music, dance, literature, and theater, and their profound connection to our wellness. Social and economic inequalities amplified the need for diplomacy and humanitarian support. We are exploring new ways to tackle climate change and sustainability. Arts and sciences propel the power of multiple perspectives to make the world a better place. How will CAS help you change the world?
I really love that last line. How will CAS help you change the world? Just a great tagline for our college. One way we do try and change the world is by addressing modern problems through outreach and collaboration. For example, our Boone Pickens School of Geology is collaborating with the National Groundwater Association to improve access to groundwater around the world by addressing a projected shortfall of geoscience workers. Also, our Cowboy Concurrent Online program offers high school juniors and seniors the chance to get a jump start in their college education by taking courses online with our Stillwater faculty. We recently added courses in sociology, speech and theater, while continuing to have offerings in composition, writing, history, government, mathematics, media, and psychology. And that program, by the way, classic land grant effect, we have 77 counties in Oklahoma. 72 counties have participated in that program in its first 3 semesters. But enough about what we are doing. Tonight, the main point is about you, our alumni, and what you're doing. It's wonderful we can get together as a CAS Cowboys family again. We will have another opportunity on Friday, October 29th, when we will have a homecoming tailgate reunion from 5 to 7 p.m. on the patio of the Social Sciences and Humanities Building. Alumni celebrating their 25th and 50th year since graduation. Go ahead and do the math. A few of you here hopefully will be in the 25 or 50th year group. You will receive a commemorative pin at that event, so we encourage you to come by and get your commemorative pin. I hope you'll be able to join us for that event. Maybe tonight's MC, who is a CAS alumna, will be there as well. Jessica Maury is a 2012 sports media graduate from the School of Media and Strategic Communications. She spent 7 years as a sports reporter and anchor for multiple TV stations in Texas, winning multiple AP awards for her storytelling and anchoring. She came back to OSU in August of 2019 to be a reporter and producer for the athletic department. She produces feature stories about student athletes and coaches, co-hosts the weekly Orange Power podcast, and conducts interviews with coaches and student athletes. She also helps on the creative side, shooting photos and videos for social media content. Please welcome Jessica Maury.
Thank you, Glenn. I am so honored to be here helping with the celebration and recognition of 26 of my fellow CAS alumni who have utilized the education and training they received here at OSU to achieve academically and succeed in their careers. Tonight, we are honoring an impressive group of alumni representing each department in the College of Arts and Sciences. They were selected by faculty in the department from which they graduated. The Distinguished Alumni Award recognizes individuals who have demonstrated great contributions to their profession, remarkable service to their region or nation, and a passionate commitment to OSU. Additionally, we are recognizing a recent alumnus with the 2021 Rising Star Award. This honor is for those who have shown promising professional accomplishments, exemplary service in the community, and proven commitments to volunteerism within their first 10 years of graduation. The program will conclude with the Hall of Fame ceremony. The College of Arts and Sciences Hall of Fame was initiated in 2015 to honor graduates who achieved exceptional success in their professional careers, displayed effective leadership, and made exemplary contributions to their community while showing great loyalty to Oklahoma State University. Induction into the Arts and Sciences Hall of Fame is the highest honor the college bestows upon alumni, and we are excited to induct a new member as the 2021 Hall of Fame class this evening. I would be remiss if I didn't recognize the exceptional current students we have in attendance. As we all know, they will someday go on to have extraordinary careers and become the type of outstanding alumni we are celebrating here tonight. So without further ado, we will honor our 2021 Distinguished Alumni. I will read a little bit of information about each recipient, but you can find more about them in the printed program or at okla.st/KAS honors. CAS, sorry. I knew that. As each name is called, they'll come up to the stage to receive their award and take a photo. We are proud to have such a diverse and accomplished graduates representing OSU and arts and sciences in the world today. When I call your name, please come to the stage to accept your award. Now, we do have some honorees who were unable to make it here tonight, which is completely understandable in the middle of a pandemic. So they will be watching the live stream, so they still will be able to hear your applause. All right, our first honoree is Dr. Isolette Dalmeida, Department of Art, Graphic Design, and Art History. Isolette Dalmeida is a 1983 art graduate who later earned a master's in industrial arts education and an education degree in curriculum and instruction. After immigrating from Venezuela, she taught art, Spanish, and education throughout her career. That included positions at Olive Public Schools, Stillwater High School, OSU, Cameron University, the University of Central Oklahoma, Chadron State College in Nebraska before she retired. She is the past president of the Oklahoma Arts and Education Association, for whom she coordinated conferences for OSU, Cameron University, the University of Oklahoma, and Southwestern Oklahoma State University. She chairs the Oklahoma Alliance for Arts Education and volunteers for several other organizations. Our next honoree is Dr. Karen Bentz, Department of Chemistry. Karen Bentz earned both her 1986 master's and 1992 PhD in chemistry here at OSU. She is the president of the Aquicity Pro Incorporated, which specializes in digital Aquicity software and systems for eye care professionals. The software is also used on the International Space Station. She previously worked at Los Alamos National Laboratory as program director of Countering Terrorist Tactics Program Office, program manager of the Defense and International Technology Program Office, and group leader of Intelligence and Applied Technology 2. Her community service includes serving as city commissioner for Elk City and as Fall Festival of the Arts Committee chair for Elk City Chamber of Commerce. Our next honoree is Connie Stigler, Department of Communication Sciences and Disorders. Connie Stigler earned a 1967 degree in Speech, Language, Pathology, and Audiology. Her first job was at Virginia's Radford City Public Schools, where she created a speech, language, and hearing program for a school in a region where families often develop their own language. She later returned to Oklahoma, working in Perkins Tryon, Perry, and the Stillwater school systems. She recently established the Connie S. Stigler Endowed Scholarship in Speech and Communication and Disorders. At OSU, she was a top 10 senior and received the ADPI Dorothy Shaw Leadership Award for graduating seniors. She served as the representative to the National Panhellenic Council, advising chapters for over 20 years. She was inducted into the OSU Greek Life Hall of Fame and was the 2019 recipient of the ADPI Lifetime Loyalty Award. Our next honoree is Derek Driver, Department of Computer Science. Derek Driver completed his computer science degree in 1989. He has worked for ExxonMobil for 31 years in a variety of IT positions, including applications development, infrastructure and operations, SAP, customer service, and projects. He has also served as a financial analyst for ExxonMobil's Lubes business line. He is a portfolio manager for a 3-year, $50 million plus global IT project to modernize and transform ExxonMobil's end user experience. He co-hosted the Department of Computer Science's 50-year anniversary and sponsors a departmental scholarship. He is both a founding and current board member of OSU's Office of Institutional Diversity. He is a former board member of both the Houston Community Voicemail and Houston Assistant Funds nonprofits. Our next honoree is David Littlefield, Department of English. David Littlefield is a 1975 English literature graduate. He is a founder and chairman of Littlefield Agency, a Tulsa-based marketing and advertising firm that has helped regional and national companies build their brands and business since 1980. It is home to 20 strategic, creative, and digital marketing communication professionals. Their clients include Ditch Witch, Grasshopper Mowers, Incredible Pizza, Francis Energy, Samson Rope, the Tulsa Health Department, and the Tulsa International Airport. He has served many boards and organizations such as the University Center at Tulsa Authority, the Oklahoma State Chamber of Commerce, Tulsa Regional Chamber of Commerce, Leadership Oklahoma, Tulsa Area United Way, Bishop Kelly Catholic High School, and Catholic Charities. Our next honoree is Helen Freudenberger Holmes, Department of English posthumous honoree. Her son William is accepting on her behalf. Helen Freudenberger Holmes completed her English degree at OSU in 1936 and then became the first woman to earn the University of Wisconsin's MS in agricultural journalism. She set the daily O'Collegian record for most column inches written. In 1940, she became the first woman instructor to teach journalism here at OSU. She was also the first women's Army Auxiliary Corps and military member sworn into active duty in World War II from Oklahoma. She is retired as a major. She was the founding sponsor of the Fourth Estate Club and Theta Sigma Pi, a national women's journalism honorary fraternity. She has been inducted into the Halls of Fame for the U.S. Army Women's Foundation, Oklahoma Historians, Oklahoma Women, and Oklahoma Journalism. Our next honoree is Tracy Burris, Department of Geography. Tracy Burris is a 1991 geography graduate. He served as gaming commissioner of the Chickasaw Nation from 1993 to 2008 and Viejas tribal government from 2008 until 2012. He returned to the Viejas tribe from 2015 to 2019 and is now the executive director of the Muskogee Creek Nation Office of Public Gaming. He has fulfilled leadership positions in both the National Indian Gaming Association and the Oklahoma Indian Gaming Association, including chairman of the OIGA from 1996 to 2003. He served as the gaming advisor to the State of Oklahoma Indian Affairs Commission. He also testified 3 times before the Senate Committee on Indian Affairs and Class 2 and Class 3 gaming issues. Our next honoree is Patricia Walker, Boone Pickens School of Geology. Patricia Walker earned a 1984 bachelor's and 1986 master's in geoscience. She serves on the executive advisory board for the school and was recently honored with the Boone Pickens Entrepreneurship Bootstrap Award. Her career with ExxonMobil began in 1986 and has taken her to 6 of the 7 continents, working on diverse energy projects in technical and in management roles. Before her retirement in 2020, she was promoted to chief geoscientist, serving as a technical expert and advisor to senior leadership on global ExxonMobil activities. She remains active in the American Association of Petroleum Geologists, serving on the Houston House of Delegates, and was recently elected vice president of the Houston Geologic Society. Our next honoree is Kimberly Sumi, Department of History. She is watching from the live stream. Kimberly Sumi is a 1990 history graduate who subsequently earned a master's in international relations at the London School of Economics, a Bachelor of Laws and an MA from the University of Cambridge, and a JD at the University of Chicago. She is the Chief Operating Officer, General Counsel, and Chief Compliance Officer of the Sequoia Capital Global Equities. She has published over 20 articles on a variety of corporate law topics and is a lecturer in law at the Stanford Law School, as well as a member of the Hoover's Institute's working group on bankruptcy reform. She is on the investment committee of the OSU Foundation and the executive committee board of directors for the Multilateral Endowment Management Company. She's the chairman of the Edgewater Center for Children and Families, a 170-year-old charity based in San Francisco. Our next honoree is Kathy Schillinger, Department of Languages and Literatures. Kathy Schillinger graduated in 1997 with a German major and a French minor. She also completed an MBA in 2003. She was the president of the German Club and received the Bailey Family Memorial Scholarship, which empowered her to study abroad in Salzburg, Austria. She later worked in the study abroad office and chose to study abroad again, this time in Graz, Austria. She worked at Citgo Petroleum Corporation before completing her MBA. Then she spent 15 years with American Airlines, serving in various roles, including managing director of corporate purchasing, with responsibilities over contracts representing more than $3 billion in annual spending. After retiring from American Airlines, she formed her own consulting company and focuses on projects related to restructuring, purchasing, and supply chain challenges in the aviation and aerospace industries. Our next honoree is Charlene Lubecker, Department of Mathematics. Charlene Lubecker earned a 1987 degrees in computer science and mathematics. She has a wealth of experience in developing and leading strategic organizational change initiatives, as well as the design, delivery, and support of enterprise-wide information assurance capabilities to enable mission objectives. For more than 3 decades, she was dedicated to the protection of the CIA's internal computer system and was named one of Washington, D.C.'s top women in technology in 2015. Recently retired, she now leverages her experiences in safeguarding national security systems to guide a variety of companies and organizations on developing, optimizing, and implementing their own robust security programs. Brooke Williams is our next honoree from the School of Media and Strategic Communications. Brooke Williams is a 1998 journalism and broadcasting graduate. The second-generation broadcaster is a graduate of the Radio Advertising Bureau's Rising Through the Ranks Women's Leadership Program. She spent most of her younger years working at the Oklahoma-based Omni Media Group, owned and operated by her father, broadcasting legend Doug Williams. She worked in sales and marketing for ABC Radio Networks, Sightshell Core, Radio and Records Magazine, and News Talk Sports Media Online. She is now the Senior Vice President of the membership for the Radio Advertising Bureau in Dallas, as well as the president and owner of Omni Media Group in Woodward. The Broadcasting Corporation includes radio stations, KWOX FM, KMZE FM, KZZW FM, as well as KOMI TV. Our next honoree is Dr. Helen Ramey, Department of Microbiology and Molecular Genetics. Helen Ramey is a 1956 bacteriology alumna who applied to medical school when it was not common for women to do so. An all-male panel asked her, "What are the limitations of women in medicine?" She replied, "I don't see any." And then she graduated from OU Medical School in 1960. She spent 30 years at Fort Worth's John Peter Smith Hospital as a radiologist. She testified as an expert witness in several child abuse cases, and more recently contributed to the Boston-based research on shaken baby syndrome. In the late 70s, when ultrasound technology was new, she spent 1 week at the University of California, Irvine, learning ultrasound techniques, which she then taught to the JPSH staff. She also joined Medical and Surgical Clinic of Irving part-time to introduce ultrasound to that clinic. Our next honoree is Dr. Robert Henry, Greenwood School of Music. Robert Henry is a 1972 music education graduate who also earned a master's at the University of Missouri and a PhD at the University of North Texas. He retired in 2014 as Senior Associate Dean of the College of Visual and Performing Arts and is Professor Emeritus of Music Education at the School of Music at Texas Tech University. He is the past president of the Texas Music Educators Association and continues to serve as the Texas Association of Music Schools chair of the Commission on Advocacy and Governmental Affairs. He was the principal bass trombonist with the Lubbock Symphony Orchestra and other regional symphony orchestras. He is also the author of many music education and music-related publications nationally and internationally. Our next honoree is Dr. Audrey Bilger, Department of Philosophy. Audrey Bilger is a 1982 philosophy graduate who earned her master's and PhD in English from the University of Virginia. She became the first woman president of Reed College in Portland, Oregon in 2019. She was previously a professor and/or an administrator at Pomona College, Oberlin College, and Claremont McKenna College. She writes scholarly books, articles, and chapters, as well as reviews, creative nonfiction, and journalism for the popular press. Her work focuses on comedy, Jane Austen, the English novel, feminist theory, pop culture, and gender and sexuality. Her work has appeared in Miss, in the Paris Review, the San Francisco Chronicle, and the Los Angeles Times. Our next honoree is Dr. Ramona Gaza, Department of Physics. Ramona Gaza completed her PhD in physics in 2004 and joined the Space Radiation Analysis Group at NASA JSC in 2005. She is a Litos Technical Fellow and the ionizing and non-ionizing radiation subject matter expert for the NASA JSC Human Health and Performance Contract. She has been the lead for the passive radiation flight hardware and associated radio dosimetry and program manager for the Crew Active Dosimeter, supporting several NASA programs, including the International Space Station, the Multi-Purpose Crew Vehicle, and the Commercial Crew. She has received a number of awards for her contributions to space exploration, including the NASA Group Achievement Award for SpaceX Demo 2, the NASA Award for Technical Excellence in Enabling Successful Execution of the Orion MPCV Exploration Mission 2 Critical Design Review. Our next honoree is Dr. Marty Matlock, Department of Plant Biology, Ecology, and Evolution. He is watching on the live stream. Marty Matlock is a 3-time OSU alumnus with a 1984 agronomy degree and 1989 master's in botany and 1996 PhD in agricultural engineering. He is executive director of the University of Arkansas Resiliency Center and professor of ecological engineering in the biological and agriculture engineering department. He is a registered professional engineer, a board-certified environmental engineer, and a certified ecosystem designer. His research focus is measuring and managing complex ecosystem processes at a local to global scale. He was the 2018 Cass Borlaug Agricultural Communications Award recipient. He serves on the US EPA Science Advisory Board Committee for Agriculture. He previously served on the US Secretary of Agriculture's Committee for the 21st Century. He has also served as chairman of the Cherokee Nation Environmental Protection Commission for the past 16 years. Our next honoree is Marcia Williams, Department of Political Science. Marcia Williams is a 1971 political science alumna who later received a JD from OU. She is admitted to practice law in Oklahoma and in Texas and is a life fellow of the American Bar Foundation. She was named a Texas top-rated lawyer, a top-rated lawyer in banking and finance law, and a top-rated lawyer in real estate law. Also, Fortune magazine named her a woman leader in law. She co-authored Pratt's State Regulation of Second Mortgages and Home Equity Loans. She was the president of the Dallas Mortgage Bankers Association and served on the boards of the Texas Mortgage Bankers Association and the National Mortgage Bankers Association, receiving service awards from both organizations. She has also represented lending institutions on the board of the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs. Our next honoree is Dr. Kathleen Laster, Department of Psychology. Dr. Kathleen Laster is a 1977 communication consultancy and a 1995 master's in community counseling graduate who also completed an MBA at Oklahoma City University and a PhD at OU. She is a founding board member and president of and CEO of the Avitas Foundation, a $100 million hospital conversion private foundation in Shawnee. She previously co-founded Impact, an executive coaching and organizational consulting firm for which she was the CEO for 10 years. She maintained a private psychology practice for 13 years as co-owner of Behavioral Medicine Associates in Shawnee. She also spent 15 years in corporate management with Southwestern Bell and AT&T. She has been the president of the National Board of the OSU Alumni Association and chairperson for her community hospital board. She was also appointed to the Oklahoma Science and Technology Council by the governor. Our next honoree is Colonel Teresa Parker, Department of Aerospace Studies, and Air Force ROTC. She is watching via the live stream. Teresa Parker is a 1979 economics graduate. She was the first female cadet corps commander of Air Force ROTC Detachment 670 here at OSU. She served nearly 25 years as an intelligence officer with a worldwide assessments ranging from tactical units to the Joint Chiefs of Staff. The intelligence she provided informed U.S. responses to crises around the globe. She is a distinguished graduate of the Squadron Officers School and Air Command and Staff College and was selected as a National Defense Fellow at the Hoover Institution at Stanford University. She retired as Deputy Director of Intelligence for Joint Forces Command in Norfolk, Virginia in 2003. She volunteered with the Nevada Civil Air Patrol, where she earned the Gil Rob Wilson Award, CAP's highest senior professional development award. Dr. Larson Kiso, Department of Military Science and Army ROTC. Larson Kiso is a 1953 zoology pre-med alumnus who also graduated from Washington University's School of Dentistry in St. Louis with both a DDS and a master's in orthodontics. He entered the Air Force Dental Corps before establishing his own practice down in Oklahoma City. Active in dentistry and orthodontics, he was instrumental in the formation of the OU College of Dentistry. He was a founding member of the World Federation of Orthodontists and president of the American Association of Orthodontists. Among his many awards are Distinguished Alumnus of Washington University, Distinguished Service Award from OU, and the American Association of Orthodontists James E. Brophy Distinguished Service Award. Our next honoree is Larry Cooper, Department of Sociology. She is also watching from the live stream. Larry Round Cooper is a 1976 sociology graduate who earned a master's in community counseling at the University of Central Oklahoma. She volunteered with Edmond Family Counseling, where she developed, coordinated, and taught a program designed to help children cope with divorce. She worked with the Edmond Municipal Court doing assignments, making recommendations to the court, and teaching life skills to first-time juvenile defenders. She served for 15 years in various offices in the parent-teacher organization's numerous Edmond Public School District committees and the Education Committee for the Edmond Women's Club. In 1999, she was elected to the Edmond Public Schools Board of Education, where she served for 6 years, including 2 as president. Our next honoree is Dr. Tim Coburn, Department of Statistics. Tim Coburn completed a 1975 master's and a 1980 PhD in statistics. He is a professor of systems engineering at Colorado State University, focusing on statistics and data analytics in energy and transportation. He maintains a research affiliation with the CSU Energy Institute, the Renewable and Sustainable Energy Institute at the University of Colorado, and the Renewable Energy Laboratory in Golden, Colorado. He also serves as a professor of data analytics, interim chief data scientist, and interim director of the Advanced Computing and Innovation Center, School of Applied Computational Sciences, Meharry Medical College in Nashville, Tennessee. He serves on the Energy Statistics Committee of the American Statistical Association and the editorial board of the Natural Resources Research and the Journal of Energy and Management Studies. Our next honoree is Jane Willingham of Department of Theater. Jane Willingham is a 1968 speech alumna. She came to OSU straight from the Miss America pageant in Atlantic City, where she competed as Miss Oklahoma. She was chosen Outstanding Speech Graduate in 1968. She moved to Dallas because she had performed at the State Fair, at the Six Flags Over Texas, and saw that Dallas had opportunities that she wanted. She went on to perform on stage, in commercials, and in film in both Texas and New York. She chaired major fundraisers and served on boards including the Dallas Theater Center and the Dallas Unlimited Repertory Company. She is listed in Women of 85 Outstanding Young Women of America and Personalities of the South. Please join me in congratulating the 2021 Distinguished Alumni for this recognition of outstanding contributions in their degree areas and commitment to representing OSU to the highest of standards. All right, next we have the Rising Star Award. To qualify for this honor, alumni must make incredible contributions in their field of study within the first 10 years of graduation. This year's 2021 Rising Star is James Cooper, Department of English. James Cooper is a 2011 graduate with a master's in English. He also has a film studies degree from OU and a creative writing MFA from UCO. He took the oath of office in April 2019 to begin his first term on the Oklahoma City Council. He is also an adjunct English professor at UCO and an adjunct film studies and philosophy professor at OCU, where he serves on the Arts and Sciences Advisory Board. He also serves on the Central Oklahoma Transportation and Parking Authority's Board of Trustees. He previously taught as a college prep teacher in the Oklahoma City Public Schools. When he was teaching here at OSU as a graduate assistant, the Department of English recognized him for teaching excellence in composition. The Society of Professional Journalists gave him an award for his 2009 Daily Okollegian column on federal hate crimes legislation. His 2013 essay on the tornado that devastated Moore, titled An Oklahoma Perspective on Tornado Alley, appeared in the Huffington Post. The Oklahoma Gazette published his 2011 two-part article on the history of Oklahoma City's LGBTQ community, From Closet to Community. Congratulations. Yay. Congratulations, James. Now we will finish tonight's awards by inducting Philip Erdos into the College of Arts and Sciences Hall of Fame. I think he brought a few people here with him. Sorry, I lost my place. You guys distracted me. Okay, we're good. We will read his bio, play a tribute video, and then ask him to say a few words upon receiving the award. Philip Erdos is a 1985 biology and biomedicine alumnus. He then earned a JD with honors from the OU College of Law and an MBA from Harvard Business School. He is the CEO of the New Traditionalists, a U.S. furniture manufacturer, as well as the chairman and CEO of Bear Cognition, a data analytics company. He is also managing partner of Last Rodeo Studios, a film production and investment entity, and Bear Ventures, which invests in a broad range of industries, including tech, manufacturing, design, media, analytics, and logistics. He serves on the board of directors at Leaf Edge, a Met company, and the national board of TEDx and the Dean's Advisory Board for the Harvard Business School. He is also a member of the Council on Foreign Relations. The Erdos family regularly contributes to children's charities, including the Fabretto Children's Foundation, UNICEF, and the New York City-based anti-poverty organization Robin Hood. Importantly, the family has established an ongoing scholarship fund for the OSU OKC President's Leadership Council. This member of the Sigma Nu fraternity and his wife Mary, CEO of JP Morgan Asset and Wealth Management, live in New York City with their three daughters, Mia 18, Morgan 17, and Mason 14. His brother Peter is an OSU graduate, graduated in 1981, and Philip calls him the loud dude at the game. And his wife, Kim, Philip says she should have gone to OSU, serve on the OSU Board of Governors. His niece Erin and nephew Dirk currently attend OSU. We are honored to recognize Philip Erdos and his tremendous accomplishments as the 2021 College of Arts and Sciences Hall of Fame honoree. Here is a short video with a few more words about him.
Hello, I'm Alexis Van Pelt, a pre-med physiology and biology senior with a minor in finance from Tulsa. I'm also a lab instructor for the Department of Integrative Biology and president of the OSU chapter of the American Medical Student Association. On behalf of the department, I'd like to congratulate you, Mr. Erdos, on this tremendous honor.
Induction into the College of Arts and Sciences Hall of Fame requires excellence, leadership, and distinguished service. After just a few short minutes of learning about Philip Erdos' life and career, it's clear that he is exactly the type of extraordinary person the Hall of Fame was created to honor. Being new in my role as president, I haven't had the chance to meet him yet, so I asked others to tell me about Philip. They said things you'd expect about someone who's had so much diverse career success. He's really sharp, has a million ideas, and is a high-energy, true entrepreneur. They use words like dynamic, curious, and innovative. And he's proud Oklahoman whose office includes a display of many cowboy boots, which definitely stands out on Park Avenue.
Mr. Erdos, the Department of Integrative Biology is proud to honor you and celebrate your success. You're certainly deserving of being inducted into the Cass Hall of Fame. Your accomplishments in business are extremely impressive. Your leadership is exceptional, and your willingness to give back to society has been so important to many people.
I too am a proud Oklahoman myself. I had a rural upbringing followed by medical school, so I can relate to Philip growing up in a working class Oklahoma City neighborhood, in a home with limited resources. I understand the many financial challenges he overcame just to earn a college degree, not to mention law school and a Harvard MBA. But what impressed me most about Philip is that he turned his success into opportunities to help others who face those same challenges. He and his brother, Peter, established a scholarship for the OSU OKC President's Leadership Council. In addition to this financial support, he also mentors many of those students throughout the year.
Mr. Erdos, I am Debbie Torres, a public service student here at OSU OKC. I am also a PLC recipient thanks to your generosity. On behalf of the OSU OKC community, we want to congratulate you for this great accomplishment of being inducted to the OSU College of Arts and Sciences Hall of Fame. Congratulations for this great accomplishment. We celebrate you and we cheer you on to the next part of your journey.
As we train students in our department and in the College of Arts and Sciences, we strive to help students develop skills that will help them be successful in whatever endeavors they choose in life. Philip, you're a great example of a talented individual using your skills to make a difference in the world.
Philip, on behalf of the entire OSU family, I want to congratulate you on your induction into the College of Arts and Sciences Hall of Fame. We are so proud of how you use your talents, your entrepreneurial spirit, curious mind, and seemingly endless energy to lift up others. You are a shining example of a true OSU cowboy, and the next time we're in Oklahoma City, Leo's Barbecue is on me.
I'm going to drop this thing probably, so I apologize in advance. Thank you. That was sort of an out-of-body experience. I have to admit, I didn't even realize that was me they were talking about for quite a while. All right, how are you guys doing tonight? Yeah, my crowd's kind of rowdy because I'm the one who paid for the bar, so that's probably why they're doing this thing, right? I'm going to have to ship, what did you say? Louder. You guys really want to hear what I have to say? Is that better? All right. Well, I got to change glasses anyway, so thanks for that break, Steve. All right. When I was first called and told about this honor, I had all the usual kind of, emotions. I was flattered. I was happy. I thought someone was pranking me. And so I chose to try to figure out exactly what this meant, what this accolade really meant. I wanted to dig deep. I didn't really feel like I understood it. So to do so, I decided to call those that I'm closest to. Those to whom I'm closest. My technical writing teacher here at Cass would have killed me if I'd ended in a preposition. So I knew my friends would provide me with enlightenment, clarity, understanding, all the stuff that I was searching for, which they always do. And they'd be brutally honest with me, which is great. So I'd like to go ahead and give you guys sort of a few of the, I call them insights, but we'd probably maybe call them reactions to when I called everybody and I told them, this is what I'm getting. What? Not sure how to process this. I think I got nominated for that before, but I turned it down. This is the last thing you needed. And I have to admit, these are probably two of my favorites. Will there be time for rebuttals? And this is the biggest miscarriage of justice since I won top 10 freshman with a 2.8 grade point average. Now, that wasn't my grade point average. That was the person who made the comment. That person will remain unknown because they're in business in Oklahoma City and it might reflect badly on their business. Continuing my research, I was trying to, really understand how I got here, and I realized that my route here was very different than the others. So first off, we should do another applause for everybody who walked across this stage. The stuff that these people have done, it's phenomenal and humbling, and I have to admit it's a little awkward. I feel like most of those people should be standing here and not me, but it was great, and I just hats off to them. But my line was a little different. A lot of these people in the prior years have also, they've been in physics or they've been in microbiology. They go on to do stuff in physics or microbiology. And my degree was in biomedicine biology, and those are not exactly the bricks upon which I walked. I have to be honest, right? But for sure, they're the basis for how I learned and how I learned to learn. Because here at the College of Arts and Science, one thing they do great, among other things, but one thing they really do well is they teach you how to learn, not teach you what to think. And that's very different than what goes on in society today. And I want everybody to kind of think about that. Learn on your own. Don't just be told what to think, okay? And I know there's a lot of kids around here, a lot of people around here, and it's really critical, okay? As a biology major, I got to take technical writing, stat classes. I know some people are wondering why did I got to take stat classes. I love stat classes, actually. I know it sounds crazy. I got to take critical thinking, a lot of different kinds of classes you wouldn't expect with biology. But it's this kind of diverse education, this kind of diverse thought development, which is what really helped carry me through to a lot of different things that I did later. I also had a minor in sociology, which at its core, right, is the study of societal behavior. And doing business, these are all microcosms of society. Businesses are organizational structures that need a lot of control, a lot of management, a lot of organization. So those things were great for me. They don't seem like the logical path, but they are perfectly great for me. So for that, I'm grateful. The educational foundations that I received here at OSU allowed me to go on and do things that now allow my family and I to give back. And one of the big things that we give back to, as you guys just heard, was the PLC. PLC is comprised of high-achieving, I even argue overachieving students in high school who go on a full scholarship to Oklahoma State University OKC campus. There are 4 of them here today. Where are you guys? Stand up for a second. Come on, stand up. The stuff these kids go through to get here is phenomenal. And while my brother and I have seen that side of it, and we've grown out of it, and we've been successful, we recognize that giving back to that is critical. And I'm just grateful that I have the opportunity to help you guys. I'd also, as you guys know, there's a few people here. I'd like to thank my friends who are here today. Houston's in the house. Dallas is in the house. Chicago, North Carolina, South Carolina, Alabama, you guys are here. New York City. How'd I know that was coming, right? California. And of course, Stillwater and Oklahoma City. In Austin, sorry. Dude, I'm from Oklahoma. I try to say Austin as infrequently as I possibly can, okay? Sorry, Steve. Sorry, Matt. You know, what's interesting about this is it's not surprising that people showed up, to be honest with you. I didn't invite a single person. They just showed up, and I was so grateful for that. And that's not a brash statement. It's a testament to the kind of friends that we have and the kind of friends that I rely upon. And I'm just really grateful for you guys, and I stand here because of you. Also, if you look at this, and we'll go back to diversity for a second, if you look at this, the group is not a homogenous group by any stretch of the imagination. They're diverse backgrounds, diverse races, diverse religions. They're diversity of thought, and that's critical to be around. That's what keeps you in check and makes you succeed. No one tells me I'm doing a great job. If I'm not doing a great job, they say, dude, you suck. They'll be the first one to say it, which is awesome, okay? So what's the common thread? And why are they wearing these hats, which I had no idea was going to happen? They're all members of what I call the 2 a.m. club. And the 2 a.m. club is a person that I or my family can call at 2 a.m. if we need help, and those people can call us. And that, my friend, is a testament to you guys, not to me, but to you guys, and for that, I'm grateful. Thank you. I'd also like to thank Dean Kreutz for considering me for this honor and for making the College of Arts and Science a premier institution. I wouldn't trade this education for a thing. I wouldn't trade this experience for any other school in the world. It was awesome to be here. It's awesome to be back. And hats off to you, and hats off to Oklahoma State for what they're doing. I'd also like to thank Justin Smith and Donovan Woods. Justin's not here today. He's at his kid's football game, but Donovan, I think, is here somewhere in the stands. Where you at, Donovan? There he goes. All right. Really want to thank you guys for having what I call chutzpah, and I don't think you guys expect to hear any Yiddish, having chutzpah for actually nominating me for this, and thank you guys for that, and thank you for all you do for PLC, okay? I don't think, and I also want to thank Christina Troxel, who's the head of student engagement at Oklahoma City campus for Oklahoma State. I don't think you understand, or maybe you do understand better than most, the differences you are making in these kids' lives. And when we say the College of Arts and Science about changing the world, we're helping change their world, I hope. I really want to give a very special thanks. It's going to be hard. To my brother and Kim. I wouldn't be here without you guys. No chance. What you guys did for Mom and Martin is unbelievable, and allowed me to go on to do the things that got me standing here today. So thank you, and God bless you. I also want to say that you guys have been role models for me. Your integrity, your honesty, your sense of humor, and your drive has been phenomenal. Now, Peter, your tact needs a little bit of work. You got to be honest. It's not too late. We can get together and chat about that later. There were a few comments from last night I can't repeat, but they are perfectly Peter. I also want to take a second to really thank my family. Mary, Mia, Morgan. Hold on. I got to give a special shout out to Mason. She made quite the effort to get down here, and it was a battle to get here, so really thank you. But I want you guys to know that you guys drive me every day to be better. You'll have no idea the impact you have on me every single day, and I love you guys. Thank you. Finally, and I know you're glad there's a finally because we've been here for a while, and I don't know if the bar's still open or not, but if it isn't, we'll go ahead and pony up again. Let's go back to that. I really want to ask everyone to take this event, this moment in time, as a jumping off point, to go do all the good things you can think about doing that will put you in your own Hall of Fame. Doesn't matter if it's official. It only matters if there's a greatness of impact, because those impacted will be your Hall of Fame every single day like they are for me. Love you guys.
Well, that was great. One more time for Philip. Give it up. I don't know if you guys could see from up here, but he has some pretty snazzy shoes on. You guys got to take a look at those. Those are pretty great. I'm going to have to find a pair of those. Well, congratulations again to all of our wonderful honorees. It was such an honor to have been here with you tonight, and I am proud to be a graduate of a college with such successful alumni. Thank you to everyone who was able to be here today to support Philip, James, and all of our distinguished alumni. I know we're going to continue to honor these outstanding individuals for many years to come. As you leave, please take a copy of our annual magazine called Connect, which is hot off the presses. In fact, it's so recent, it includes all of tonight's honorees. Now, to end this wonderful event celebrating the College of Arts and Sciences Cowboy family, this is in the script. It's not going to happen. They would like me to lead the singing of the alma mater. This has been a great night. You guys do not want that. It's going to ruin the night. So the words are going to be on the screen, and I'm going to go ahead and let you guys lead the singing of the alma mater.